talk about this together. Weight gain, and what does that actually mean for our bodies? What does that actually mean for our style? But first I want to get into story time. So I went through like a crazy decluttering this weekend, because if you know me, you know I need a clean space to function. So I every once each month I'll do a bit of a declutter. And I was doing one this weekend, and me and my mom found an old scale, like weight scale, and it just needed some new batteries. So we popped in some new batteries, and of course, after popping in new batteries, we were tempted to step on it and see how much we weigh. I have not weighed myself since, I want to say, a year and like some change ago. Last time I went to get my physical. And when I did it, I was 136. I'm going to share numbers with you all. I was like 136, and that was like with clothes on. Mind you, that was with clothes on. That's when it was like winter time. I wasn't winter, actually. Was it summer? I remember I had heavy shoes on. So like take off like a pound or two, and that would have been my actual weight, because I was wearing some of my clunky shoes. These ones right here. And yeah, so when I went to weigh myself this weekend, I stepped on the scale and it was 145. 145.6. And it just felt so strange seeing that number. And that's not because I've never been that weight before, because my weight does fluctuate between like 130 to like 140, like back and forth a lot. I don't know why. I really don't even really see it on myself, to be honest. Like, I really don't even notice it. But I've been doing like really great. Really happy. As a lot of you know, like, I am single again. I was not at that time. I've been pretty active too. Also, like, bopping around a lot. Still eating well, but weight was gained, and I really can't say why I gain it, why I lose it. And it's funny because I've had times where I've gained weight and been perfectly happy. I've had times when I gained weight and I was stressed. I've had times when I lost weight and I was perfectly happy, lost weight and I was stressed. I don't know exactly what triggers it, but like, I really don't mind it. Like, my biggest thing around it was just noticing, though, and like me and my mom weighed ourselves, the immediate reaction to seeing the numbers became like negative, almost like if we're supposed to be negative about it, using language like, oh no, or like making jokes around it. And that was just like the immediate response to stepping on the scale and the weight gain. It's almost as if we were programmed to feel that way about seeing a number. We had the same exact body moments before and moments after, but now all of a sudden our opinions about our body must shift and change because of a couple of numbers. And it's interesting too, because I noticed that with my weight gain or weight change, mind you, I'm 5'5.5". So with my weight gain and my weight change and all of that, I'm still wearing the same clothes. I've gotten some new clothes, but even my sizing hasn't necessarily changed. Maybe the fit of clothing has changed. Like, there's some things I might be filling out more, or some things that fit a little tighter now. But I think that as a woman, we've really been programmed to put a lot of worth, faith, and value into the number system around weight and into the number system around clothing size. And today, I really want to unpack that with us, like, all together. Let's just really get clarity around the systems that we use for our sizes, and the systems that we use with our weight gain. So specifically dress sizes and pant sizes. I fluctuate with my weight. I can be anywhere between a size 6 and a size 2 at any given time. I am wearing a pair of size 2 shorts right now, but I gained weight, right? I have size 6 dresses and pants in my closet right now. I think the heaviest I've ever been is probably like where I'm at right now, maybe a little bit heavier in the past. I've been there, but one thing that I've done for myself, and I guess someone could say, oh, well, that's easy for you to say, Kyla, like size 6 to size 2 is standard sizing. And like, that is true. Like, I'm not going to say like, no, I know, like there's no level of privilege that comes with that. There is. However, we really have to understand the sizing system and how it works. Okay. So we have dresses from ranges like from size 2 to 26, right? From size 00 to 26. And these dress sizes are sizes that were determined specifically in the American dress system and also in most of the Western European dress sizes and pant sizes as well. They came around during the World Wars. And the reason that they came up with these systems was so that they can mass produce clothes for both men and women who were a part of the war efforts, whether they were soldiers or nurses or whomever. They wanted to make sure that they could make uniforms that were standard and make them fast. So that is why we have the dress system and the pant system that we have today. So mind you, one, there were so many limitations around who was able to work for the military. One, based off of race, based off of weight, based off of class, based off of education. There were specific types of people that they would take. So if you are lower to middle class in America in 1930s through 50s, let's say, white, you're going to have a specific type of body type, right? The chances of you at that point in time being somebody who has a significant amount of weight on your bones is different because the eating habits were different. The lifestyle habits were different. Folks in the lower class were eating very differently than the average American does today, right? The people didn't have cars. People were walking everywhere. So this idea that like being slim or being a size 2, 4, 6 or whatever is ideal and certain other sizes were being created at that time, right? Now, this was not including folks with different body structures, folks of different ethnicities. These were just the folks who were being drafted, or the women who were being chosen as being a nurse for the military at the time. So these are the women who were created as a standard, not because they truly were the average woman in America, but simply because they were who were being chosen by whoever decided they had the right to be in that space at the time, and that they would be the folks that would make clothes for you. Now, mind you, as well, there would be people who they would actually just like leave out of the conversation completely, like people of color for a long time, like women who maybe did have different body shapes and sizes may not have been chosen simply because they didn't follow into somebody's very specific standard, right? So the sizing that we use today for dresses and pants are actually tied to the military industrial system, which is so crazy to think about. And mind you, before that, we had that system, right? The way clothes were made was completely different. We were not mass producing clothing. So there were no sizes like size 2 or size 10 or size 20. Instead, we had people actually having things tailor-made for their own body, right? You would find the fabric yourself. You would take it to somebody who was an excellent seamstress, and she would make the piece for you, or even your mom would make the piece for you, right? Or you yourself if you knew how to. So that is when we actually just sized by measurements. There was no sizing. It was just what works for you, right? And say your body type shifts and changes, the seamstress that was working with you would actually make your clothes to work with your body. So say when you fluctuate, you might have changes in your hips or your waist or your chest. Elastic would be added where needed. Darts would be put where needed to work for your body because your clothes were being made for you. Now that we are in a place where mass production is the name of the game, clothes are not being made for people. Clothes are being made for profits. And when that happens, we just have to get in where we can, get in where we fit in, okay? And that is why you will go into one store, like myself, and be a size 6, and then go into another store and be a size 2, go into one store and be a size 10, go into another store and be a 14. These size ranges are simply based off of what they think will get them the most profit, not off of what they think will look the best on the most people. Please keep that in mind. Always, always, always when shopping for clothes. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about, right? You guys know I have Flatter Your Body. And that is one of my major offers out there that's just helping women to figure out what flatters their body. We are not flattering your body for a number. We are not flattering your body for a weight or a size. We are flattering a body for what your body is. I think it is really unfortunate that folks have used the terms like flatter or figure or body type to spread body negativity. That is not helpful for anybody. It is not actual education. And it is also really harming women who are seeking out their personal style, women who want to define it, women who want to learn what it is for themselves. It is not useful for someone to look at conversations around size, weight, and flattering your body and think that it is inherently body negative. Okay? The issue is not the word flatter. The issue is the mindset of the person who is telling you how to flatter your body. I think it is so, so crucial that if you are looking for a stylist, look, it doesn't have to be me, but if you choose to go with a stylist, you need to go with a stylist who has gone through the body positive journey for themselves. Okay? Please. And you will know this based off of the content that they're putting out there. You will know this after conversations with them. Ask people the hard questions, because you don't need a stylist who's going to tell you, I don't know how to find things that work for you. You need a stylist who's educated on your figure. Okay? Now, when I say figure, what do I mean? Because I'm not talking about your size and I'm not talking about your weight. What I am talking about is your personal measurements. I want you to find folks who can speak to you like a seamstress would have spoke to you before we lived in a mass production world. A person who understands bust, waist, hips. A person who understands height. A person who understands proportions. Because when I say flatter your body, what we're talking about here is proportions. Okay? You can be an hourglass who is petite. You can be an hourglass who is plus size. You can be I call them strawberries because I think strawberry is way cuter. You can be a strawberry who is tall. You can be a strawberry who is short. Okay? Oh, you might be wondering, like, what is a strawberry? By the way, like, strawberries are so cute, but what is that? Oftentimes this is called a carrot or an inverted triangle. I think both of those things are just like, ew, why? First of all, inverted triangle, who came up with that? Who came up with that? Ew, no, we're not using that term. And carrot is oftentimes used, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. However, carrot implies that you are tall, and that is not always the case, which is why I go with strawberry, because sometimes strawberries are a little taller, sometimes they're a little smaller, but they're always going to be widest at the bust line. That is going to be their widest point in their body. So I call them strawberries. Fun fact. But yes, what was I saying? Before I lose my train of thought. Yes, understanding your body type isn't what is important, right? And I do use the 5 classic body type system simply because there are three factors that work into each of those body types, and they're just going to be a resonant truth for everyone, right? So you can be, the widest point can be your hips, the widest point can be your bust and shoulders, the widest point can be your waistline, the narrowest point can be your hips, your waistline, your shoulders, your bust. And all those combinations come together to create those 5 body types, right? I think it's really important that we don't villainize the system itself. There's nothing wrong with any of these body types inherently. What is wrong is when we place value on folks based off of a body type, okay? There's nothing wrong with your weight or your size. Inherently, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a size 20. There is nothing wrong with being size 00. What is wrong is when we start to place value on people based off of that, or when we place our own self-worth based off of that, which is why I came here to tell you all about how I gained 10 pounds and I'm perfectly okay with it, okay? I could gain 10 more and be okay with it. And you know why? It's because I know how to flatter my body regardless. All right. I understand what sizing for the 5 body type, what clothing for the 5 body types works. Okay. I understand how to look my best regardless of the shapes and the ways that I change. Right. So one thing about me, when I gain weight, my body tends to lean into the, maybe more straight body type. When I lose weight, my body leans into the hourglass body type. Most people are not just one specific body type. Your body type is going to change over time. Say you're a woman who becomes pregnant, your body type just changed. You've had a baby, your body type just changed. You gained weight, your body type changed. You've lost weight, your body type might have changed. And sometimes you have those things happen and there's no change to your body type at all. That is the thing about being women. We are ever-changing, evolving, cyclical beings, okay? And that is an important thing to understand when you're thinking about your closet and your style. You have to allow yourself to have permission to change, okay? One of the biggest blockers I see for women is when women do not allow themselves to change. They do not give themselves the permission to change, because here's the thing about change. It's going to happen anyway. Whether you like it or not, change is not something you can change. It's just going to happen, okay? So you have to learn how to be okay with the fact that your body is going to shift and change. And one of the biggest ways to do that, I will be a broken record all day, the biggest ways to change and shift with that is to give your body permission to change and shift, okay? It's to learn how to flatter your body. Not so that you can meet somebody else's or society's standard for yourself. It is so that you understand for yourself how to look your best. That is a life skill. It's not something you're just supposed to be born knowing how to do, nor is it something you're supposed to just adopt from other people. Like if so-and-so, my friend, my mom, my sister says, this is good for me, then it must be good for me. And you never give yourself the chance to explore that for yourself. You have to allow yourself to learn the skill of style, okay? And one of the biggest parts of learning the skill of style is learning how to flatter your body, all right? So I wanted to share some of my notes that I had here on flattering your body. There are a couple keys, okay? Because the thing is, a lot of women tend to feel like they're absolutely clueless about their style and they don't know like what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And that's partially, once again, an issue of mass production, okay? The issue with mass production is we are now in a place where if you Google white t-shirt, you will quite literally get thousands, if not millions of results to comb through. That is insanity. That is actually pure insanity. Okay. You're not supposed to, as human beings, we're not supposed to be this bombarded with options or having to make a decision from this many options, right? So we start to feel like, oh my gosh, I am completely clueless about style. I don't know what to do with myself. And that is simply because we're being inundated with a bunch of options, right? So at some point, you're going to get tired of feeling like you're wasting money, time, energy, trying to make a decision. And when you finally know what your body type is and you get intimate with understanding what works for it and what does not and why, you are going to be able to make decisions much sooner. One, instead of just simply looking for a white t-shirt, now you can say, I want a v-neck t-shirt, or I want a fitted t-shirt, I want a slouchy t-shirt, and you'll understand why you're choosing a v-neck over a scoop neck, why you want slouchy over fitted, why you want a peplum instead of a cropped. You're going to have that information when you understand how to flatter your body, right? And I think the thing is, like, that overwhelm is just so natural and normal because, like I said, we're living in a time where mass production is the name of the game. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with us having options now, the issue is that when we don't know how to choose from the options and we don't have the skill set to choose options with. One second. I need to charge my phone before it dies. I'm so sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, my phone is like forever on 1%. But we're good now. We're not gonna die in the middle of this. Yeah. When we take the time to understand what works for our body, you know, we're going to be able to make decisions from a different place, right? So I wanted to share a post that I wrote with you all based off of this. So I love you like a potato, but your clothes do not. I love you like a potato in every shape, every form, every style, right? But clothes do not. Clothes are tools, not items or objects that are made to love you, right? Clothes need you to give them a function. Clothes do not give you a function. You place worth on clothes. Clothes do not place worth on you. Right? You tell clothes, you work for me. You don't. You need to be able to decide if something serves you or not try to shift and change yourself to serve those clothes. And this applies to a lot more than clothes. This applies to life, but we're talking about clothes today. Whether it's a shirt, underwear, a dress, whatever, you need to give it a job. Okay, you need to say, I am looking for a dress that makes these aspects of my body look amazing. How do I do that, right? Understanding what it is you need from the clothing, not what the clothing needs from you so that it can look good, right? That is a major waste of your money and your time. And knowing these things is how you look good with ease daily, okay? You will look at me right now. Y'all, I'm really not, I mean, my outfit's great, but it's very simple. And I think that a lot of the times we assume that in order for us to look good, it needs to be this huge effort that needs to be done, which is why we oftentimes save looking good for like a future occasion instead of just allowing ourselves to look amazing in the moment, right? And the way that you do this is learning how to flatter your body, right? Learning how to flatter your body is really, once again, about understanding your body type, right? And what will oftentimes happen, especially now in the world of options, whether it's social media, being on Pinterest, seeing things like, we're constantly being given images of things that look really great. Trust me. My Instagram algorithm knows exactly what I like. Don't even get me started on Pinterest, okay? But the thing is, I can look at those things and appreciate them. And some of those things that I look at and appreciate, I will say, absolutely not. I would never buy that. And here's why. I know what works for my body type, right? What I am, it's not that I am depriving myself of things that I enjoy, but what I am doing is stopping myself from feeling like everything that I simply see and like and is visually appealing to my eye is something that I must have. Instead, I am giving it criteria, what it needs to have and what it needs to do for me before I invite it into my world, before I invite it into my closet, right? So I can see the celebrity or an influencer and think that their piece is amazing and either say, wow, yes, and that's going to work for me, or say, you know what, that that exact item isn't what works for me. However, if I found an item that was tweaked just a little bit or was a little more like this, I could pull off that same look and it would work for me, right? And this isn't about comparing yourself to celebrities or influencers from the space of like, oh, we're not the same weight, or oh, we're not the same size. It's comparing yourself around body type, which is, once again, the body shape. It is the lines in your body, your bust line, your waistline, your hip line, all right? The proportions of those things to one another. Simply because everybody on your feed is skinny doesn't mean they all have the same body type, right? Are they straight? Are they hourglass? Are they carrot or strawberry? Are they apple? Are they pear? Like, you knowing those things is what's going to allow you to see somebody else wearing a look and understand if you can pull it off the same way or if there's certain tweaks you have to make to be able to translate that, right? So, and at the end of the day, look, the person, the celebrity, the influencer who is wearing these things, they oftentimes aren't even choosing their own clothes themselves. They have a whole team dedicated to that, right? 1 second. They have a whole team dedicated to that. It's not that they are taking the time to comb through everything and they just have all this amazing taste and they know what works for them. There's somebody whose actual job it is to do that for them, right? Now, you're an everyday person, so maybe you don't have a whole team. Maybe you hire Kyla every once in a while, or maybe you use Flatter Your Body, the offer Kyla has out, and we'll get into the details of that a little later. But you have tools at your disposal to be able to do these things. You don't need to hire someone to do it, but you do need to stop allowing yourself to compare yourself to people who have literally have helped to do these things, thinking that either one, they have all this taste that you will never have, because that's not true, or two, that clothes are made for people like them and can't be made for people like you, because it's about body type. I'm probably going to say that a million times today. But what I would say to you if you're falling into this, the first thing I want you to do is watch your screen time, okay? Watch your screen time. Do not overdo it. Endless scrolling is not going to help your style get any better. It's just not. All right, and endless scrolling does a number on our psyche, not only from the place of us comparing ourselves to other people all the time, but then also us not having a realistic worldview of like what's actually out there and what's going to work for me. So first things first, watch your screen time. The next thing, wait at the very least 3 days to buy something. You want to avoid the impulse purchases. That is a surefire way to have a bunch of clothes that you own that don't really look right. And you know who you are. If you are somebody who's made that purchase that doesn't really look right, but hey, now it's stuck in your closet, this is probably what's going on. You were impulse buying and you were not allowing yourself to wait. And when I say wait 3 days, what I want you to do at that time is, one, walk away from it and see if it's actually something you really actually desire, or if it just gave you a dopamine hit in the moment. But also taking the time to do just a little bit of research on that item. Okay, like this looks really great on her, but like, let me go look at the details. Like, what is it made out of? What is the cut of it? Is that cut going to work for my body? Is it going to flatter my body? Things like that. And then last but certainly not least, get to know yourself and your body type. So I keep talking about Flatter Your Body. It is one of my babies. I've had it for over a year. Oh my gosh, almost, we're probably going to get to 2 years soon that Flatter Your Body has been available. You heard me talk about it when I first launched it as a course. It was a daily lesson. So over 7 days, we were covering everything from underwear to outerwear straight to your inbox, a daily lesson to help you assess your closet, figure out what in your closet is flattering your body and what is not, along with a style companion that you could take with you to go shopping. All of that is gone. I did a complete revamp of Flatter Your Body now that we are at its almost 2-year anniversary, can you believe, of its inception. And now, instead of it being this endless PDF document and a course that you have to remember to take and take the time to take, instead of it being a course, it is now a GPT, available for anybody who uses ChatGPT. Whether you have a pro subscription or not, you can purchase Flatter Your Body, the bot. It is available on my website for $97. And I've been doing a little bit of a sale and having it available for $77. So if you're catching this stream recently, then you can go check it out for $77. But if not, it is available for $97, and you literally have access to a bot that works specifically with you. First things first, it's going to get to know what your body type is. It's also going to get to know how your body type fluctuates based off of your weight gain. It is something that will grow with you, right? So if your body type changes this time next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, Flatter Your Body bot knows everything it needs to know on how to flatter any body type. So it is going to work with you and grow with you, right? Next, you can ask it questions about what works for your body, what doesn't work for your body. You can go through and assess your own closet with it and show it what you have available. It will let you know if that is an item that will work for you or not. You can have conversations with it about how to create a better, more flattering outfit based off of what you're wearing. And then along with that, you can also use it to shop with. So you can drop links or take pictures of different different clothes and drop it inside of Flatter Your Body bot. And it is going to let you know if that is a piece that's going to work for your body. Now, you all know me. I don't believe in dogmatic rules. So flattering your body is not about, it's not about you being perfect every time. All your clothes are the most flattering item you could ever find in your life. What this is really about is understanding the guidelines, having some level of guardrails. So once again, you're not falling into the decision fatigue of, I need something to wear, and there's quite literally millions and millions of options out there in the world, okay? So you're going to use Flatter Your Body bot just to really get crystal clear about what works for you, and it will grow with you over time as your style evolves, as your closet changes, as your body changes. Flatter Your Body bot is available for you for the rest of your lifetime. As long as you're using ChatGPT, you'll have the Flatter Your Body bot available to you. So like I said, that is going to be available for $77 until the end of this week, and then you will check it out for $97. The link will always be in my bio, Flatter Your Body bot. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this live here. I have so many thoughts on your body and bodies changing and what that really means for us as women. But I just wanted to talk about my own personal experience, because don't think just because I'm at a pure slim, it means that I don't have changes and things that go on with my body or things that fluctuate, especially as a woman with a cycle. And I think that the most important thing as a woman that we can do is focus much less off of number systems and focus much more on shape. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. Have a great evening, and if you have any questions on Flatter Your Body bot or anything else that I talk about or work on, please send me a DM. It's Kyla, not Kayla. Bye.